Has your engine ever started making a noise that you couldn't quite figure out? Today I'm going to show you my secret weapon on finding engine noises, and the cool part is you have one in your toolbox right now. All right, let me come over here to this side of the engine. I'm grabbing my tool here and I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, so this is just a long, really long cabinet screwdriver. It's really thin, it's got a flat head and a hard plastic handle. Now this handle is the key to my success because it perfectly fits in my ear. It's got that rounded bit there, so it's just comfortable. Now, if you have ever seen a doctor with a stethoscope, this is a very similar method to what they're using, except I'm using it on this engine. So I'm going to take the tip of the screwdriver and just pick out different pieces of the engine that are rotating, listen with my ear, and see where that noise is coming from. So we're going to go ahead and start the engine right now. First, we're going with the alternator. And then I can go right here on the engine mount. Go ahead and cut it. So I'm going to keep going around the engine here, but what I want you to do is listen to my stethoscope here. I'm going to put the microphone right up to it, and you're going to hear what it sounds like. And we'll see if we can make a determination on which part of this engine is making that horrible, it sounds like a grinding noise from a bearing. So let's come over here. Let's start the engine. And now you can listen to each one of these components one at a time. Let's start with the alternator. All right, you can hear me now that the engine is off. Sounds to me like the water pump was making the most noise. It was kind of a growling noise, which happens when the bearings go bad. They tend to growl on you. We need to isolate the water pump from the engine to make 100% sure that it is the problem. All right, well, in today's episode of Troubleshooting 101, you're going to get a sneak peek into my new favorite way to remove a Ford stretch belt. There's about 5 bolts, 100 clips, and 1 nut that you got to remove to pull this off. That doesn't matter. What we're going for is the stretch belt. Have a look in there. Let me grab a flashlight. This is the crank pulley here and the belt. No tension or anywhere on there. You just got an AC compressor, and way up there you have the water pump and an alternator. All right, so what we're going to do is try my new super fancy trick on getting this off. Has a 100% success rate so far, and it uses a really fancy special tool. All right, we've got the longest extension and an 18mm socket on the end of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to just drive that right in there. It's hanging off of the crank pulley. We've got the extension on a ratchet, and we've got the lovely Mrs. S on the ratchet. She's going to turn the engine for me. So come on in here. Let me grab a flashlight again. We're going to shine it right on there. What I'm going to do is pull on this here. You see the belt stretching? I'm going to keep pulling on it, and Mrs. S is going to start turning the engine. All right. There, we're derailing. Stop. You don't want to run the belt into the pulley. Okay, go. And stop. We're almost there. One big pull, ready, set, go. Oh, there we go. Look at that. No damage on the belt or anything. This can be reused. Ford says you got to cut it off. You don't need to do all that. I'm pretty happy about that because these belts, they're cheap, but they're not that cheap. If you can reuse them, you're way better off. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to get it off of the water pump. Oh, got my hands in there. And off of the alternator. All right, there we go. Belts in one piece, awesome. Let's get this car down a little bit. We'll start it up and we'll see what the noise sounds like now. I don't want to run it too much without the water pump or anything else running, but can you hear it? Rewind back to where we were before. Huge difference. The engine's quieted way down, so we know it's one of the things that's driven by the belt. Let's see which one it is. Okay, so just like before when we were using the stethoscope, the screwdriver scope, I thought it was the bearing on the water pump. So I've got my fingers on it now, and let's see if we can hear it. You hear that? That's 100% the problem. Now I can go and spin the alternator, which I'm doing. You don't hear a single thing. None of these things should make any noise when they're spinning. It should be nearly silent. This right here is the AC compressor. Back to the water pump. Man, I can grab it with my hand. With the belt off of it now that it's not tensioned on there, I can even wiggle the pulley. But the crazy thing is, there's no leak on the water pump. Usually when those bearings go out, the seals go out to let you know that there's a problem there. That didn't happen this time, but yeah, 100% needs a water pump. Now these water pumps, they're not that expensive. The labor is where it's really expensive. It's about 10 hours labor. You're gonna wanna add a timing belt because all of that has to come off, including the timing belt just to get to this water pump. So if you're doing this job on a 1.5 liter EcoBoost, feel bad for you, but feel bad for me, I guess, because I have to do this job now. The lady's going to be a little bit upset that she's going to have to pay so much to get this thing fixed, but at least she knows what the problem is. So I'm glad you came out here for, what are we going to call this? Troubleshooting 101. We're finding noises in the engine. Let me know what you use to find engine noises. And I thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.